CY Western Company is located in Bushnell, Florida. It's a great place for boots, clothing, gifts, and accessories for the whole family. They are a family-owned and operated business that opened in 2008. They offer free gift bagging and layaway services, and also a 10% discount for 4-H and FFA members with proof of membership. Be sure to like them on Facebook, where customers can stay updated on sales and giveaways. You can find them next to Lowry's True Value Hardware in Bushnell, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Be sure to check out CY Western Company.
That's awesome. And I'm glad to see that people are receptive to it. Because, you know how people are with bringing new stuff in, and especially if it's not, talking about homegrown, if it's not something that they are accustomed to, it's hard to, it's like when they brought soccer to the U.S. I mean, there's, it's kind of slowly getting more popular, but back in the 90s, 2000, when they started started thinking about doing more with that sport, it just wasn't as accepted as it was because you've always got the top dog. You got the NFL. That's the most dominant sport in America. I don't care what people say. They say baseball, they say basketball. It's the NFL. The NFL's only on half the year, maybe not even that. And it's the most dominant thing. People watch. Look how many people watch the draft. I mean, they look at those draft parties where there's millions of people out there, either watching or on at that site, and it's incredible. That should tell you exactly who the top dog is. So I was just, it's refreshing to hear that, because you also, the way I operate sometimes is if I go to a great restaurant, and you ask me, hey, Billy, do you know of a great restaurant? I'm going to tell you about that restaurant. I don't keep it a secret. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to go there. Now, they may not have the same experience that I did, and that's going to happen. Where they're like, that just didn't, I didn't like it, but at least I'm going to tell them about it.
That's right.
It's always great to have something that you're proud of, and you go, hey, you know what, you should definitely go here, or you should listen, you should watch this team, or something like that. It just,
well, that's building the case for when you either want to be good or great, So you're working from good to great, and that's what you want to bring every day. You want to bring experiences that were great for you, and hopefully as you share them, it'll be a good experience for someone else. Right. And then hopefully they can go experience that. And like you said, you can't determine how their experience is going to be at that restaurant, but you had a great experience, and you tell that to enough people that someone along percentages are 3 out of 10, that 3 out of those 10 people are going to have a great experience. Right. And so they tell 10 people, and then the 3 out of 10, that's one of the models I live by. I try to really coach up as many people as I can, being positive, leaving them a better person than the way I found them, and sharing with them, the blessings they really have. So many people are so negative, and so have that critical voice is what I like to say, because they want to be told what they can't do. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough experience. I don't have this. I don't have that. And they live in that world. And so the enemy then wins, because then your creative voice, that's why people love being around kids and love being around puppies, kids and puppies. Because they're just creative, man. Little kids, like you're talking about your guys playing on the side field there. I remember when I was 10, 11, and 12 playing at West End Junior High, when my brothers played at Father Ryan on the field, I was over there playing. We called it paper cup football. The paper cups, they were out. They put them like a ball, and you threw it off, and you tackled and caught the ball and threw the ball, and you played the whole time. And then, you know what, Billy, at the end of the day, I didn't know who won the game. My brother and they'd be like, what'd you think of the game? Oh, man, well, I made 16 tackles in my game. Well, I'm talking about our game. I'd be like, oh, my brother Petey and Gary. And I was little bitty when my oldest brother, who's my hero, Anthony, when he played. And he played at West End High School, and his senior year played at Hillsboro. But, you got your own game going on. That's
Yeah.
what you want. You want them to have that experience. So that's the great experience. And what you're building and part of, share that to enough people. And maybe there's some kids and some families in y'all's program now or in your school that aren't experiencing that. Maybe they need to experience that. Share that with enough people, man. A lot of people think, that's the beautiful thing here. That's what I want to say, Billy, is these kids don't pick up the sport of football here to around their 15 or 16. And gear's been around long enough now that they're actually getting kids that are younger, so they're introducing like flag football. They're introducing those activities. And like you said, that's how you build. And so you've got to be able to create that pathway for success. And it's not about winning and losing. It's not about scoring touchdowns. It's about experiences. And that's what you talked about the whole time in our conversation. You didn't even ask me about their record last year. We haven't even talked about those things. It's about experiences and being part of that. And that's what you got to have, because the scores and all that, people are going to forget that, what they're going to remember is how they experienced it. And like nobody's asked you, what was the meal you had at the restaurant? They just know your overall experience was a great one at that restaurant.
That's right.
And so that's the neat thing. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's what you're doing with this podcast is hopefully somebody will hear this message and understand, hey, I don't have it as bad as I think I have it. Hey, I've got opportunities. I went to Jerusalem, got to coach there for 2 weeks. One of the young coaches that are impacted, he came and lived with me in Mobile for about 6 months. From that point, we reached out to another coach that he knew very well that happened to be with the Panthers the year before. I mean, God had all this all planned out. All I had to do was say yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So then Yaniv, we called that coach, and that coach called the general managers, the organization here at Panthers. Within 48 hours, I had a job offer to come to Europe, and I said yes. And so I was here. And then 48 hours after we had parted ways with our head coach here, and they're in search for a new head coach at the Panthers. And so I ventured out and communicated with the Gear Sharks, and within 48 hours got an offer. And so I'm just blessed. This is my second country to be in, and just really, really looking forward to it. But you know what? If you stay in your creative voice and you allow that to work, God has a great plan for you, man. He really does.
Absolutely. To see where you start and where you are now is it's a humbling experience. I can go back and watch the first episode, and I mean, even if you, I mean, the only I got into this. Excuse me. I got into podcasting because my job, I drive around a lot, and so you can only listen to so much music, and then I hop in and out of the truck a lot. And so I was like, well, why don't I just start listening to podcasts? So I started listening to the OG, to the guy that everybody likes, is Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm thinking I could totally do this. And so I started to start the process of getting things figured out. And I've been inquiring this for, a couple of years. And then finally I just said, you know what, there's nothing to it but to do it. And I just put all my stuff all my eggs in one basket, man. I just said, I'm doing it. I'm going to, like you said before, jump off in the deep end. I'm jumping.
That's right.
And I did. And to go to see, even Joe Rogan, the first episode, he's doing a webcam from his laptop back in 2009 or 8, whenever he started. I mean, he's been doing it forever, but he had to start somewhere too. Nobody taught him how to podcast. He didn't go to school for that, nor did I. So, I mean, I've learned a lot doing this, what to do, what not to do. And that just comes with experience. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're doing a podcast, playing football, life. Right. It doesn't matter. It comes with experience, and you'll never know what to do unless you actually do it. So I just take these little, and things have gone wrong. I've had audio fail. I've had video fail. I used to have GoPros, and they were great. They were great starting out. If you're starting a podcast, GoPros are great, but the thing is, they get so hot they overheat. Well, nobody
Right.
they don't tell you that on the box or on the reviews. So I'd have them hooked up, and all of a sudden I could be talking, and just the screen would go black. And you go back, and there's still some episodes where that happens. And so, but you don't learn or try to figure it out unless it happens to you. Now, if it went smooth sailing from day one, I probably would never learn anything. It'd be like, oh, it's just, I'll say it.
That's where you grow, Billy. You grow during adversity. When you see this sea behind me 3 or 4 days ago, I think I sent you pictures of what it looked like. It was black and gloomy, and the wave was pounding this sand. Today they're smooth, and so right today, it's probably easiest for any person out there trying to sail that boat, to get across the sea, this Baltic Sea. But the other day it'd been tough.
Yeah.
That's growing adversity. And that's why you have your son playing football. Yeah. You want to have adversity. You want him to go through, nothing traumatic injury, but he's going to get nicks and pulls and bumps, and you got to teach him, the difference between being hurt and injured. Are you just hurt? And hurt means, well, I got a bruise. I can get in the physio. I can get healed up. I can be ready to go next week. Yep. Or am I injured where I need to go see a physical therapist? I need to go see, that type of, different injuries. And you want him to develop that toughness. And I think that's why you want your son playing football. One of the reasons to develop toughness, because this day and time, there's really no other places they're going to get it. And if they're not playing sports and I call football a collision sport. It's not just a contact sport, it's collision.
Yeah.
You got to love to be running into, as a quarterback, I don't teach a lot of throwing off the platform because, nowadays, you're going to get moved off your platform. So you got to get used to, people being around you, people grabbing at the ball. A good quarterback has all those attributes, or should be training to have all those attributes, because it's not just, you see guys like 7-on-7, years ago, when I was a coach, basically I was bored one summer after Texas A&M and decided to start 7-on-7 in Nashville, Tennessee, actually in Franklin, Tennessee, at Battleground Academy with 12 other coaches. We started playing it back in the 1980, I think it was 87, summer of 87. That's how long ago we started. Wow. And basically, it was a good thing. Everybody was, oh, this is great for quarterback development. And I said, no, what it's great for is the defensive backs and the receivers. They get some one-on-one battles against very good people for multiple reps. You get them off the basketball court, Billy. You get them on the field, and you play basically basketball on grass, Yep. And that's how I recruited all my players when I was a young coach and, developing programs. I would go to the basketball coach, and I'd go to the baseball coach, and I would network with those guys and collaborate. They don't have to major in football to play for me when I was a coach in high school in the States. And that's the same thing. I'm gonna talk to these gear sharks. We need guys that have experience playing handball. We need guys that have done any track and field. You don't have to major in football to become a great gear sharks player. We need to reach into those areas, those sports and professions, and see if there's some kids that we can get them to come take football, tackle football and try to play. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk to management and organization about, making sure are we going to the schools in the area? Are we promoting football? And that's what I'm going to present to them, because it takes that to develop, young people. Because like I said to you earlier, I said, you might have your son might have somebody in the classroom that they need football. Maybe home life isn't great. Yep. Maybe mom and dad are upset and financial problems, but they can look forward. If they're on the football team, man, they've got something stable. They got practice, in the afternoon. They've got a team, a game, something bigger than themselves. And that's what I think a lot of people forget as they become older. If they played football, they forget that this life is bigger than themselves, right? And that's when they love football the most is when they played for each other, and they played for their coaches, and they played for their city, their town, just like you mentioned about where you're at now with your son. And so that's what it's about. And so you need to always get back to those roots. So that's what's exciting to hear from you and to know where I'm going to be going for Gear Sharks, just to pour in these guys, because that's what it's about, is meeting them where they're at and then bringing them along and helping them become better people first, right. Players, because that's that's what I learned through my doctoral studies. I studied over 150 high school coaches, and basically it was about emotional intelligence for high school coaches and their staff synergy. And what makes successful coaches, we learn that coaches that have the right emotional background, meaning that they understand that players go through things. Players are not their best every practice. Maybe they've had 3 tests that day at school. You need to know these things when you get out to practice, that kid, they've had 3 tests. They're mentally drained, so you probably need to take a different slant on practice. Maybe you had more teams practice set up, probably need to go to more individual, where they can play and run and work on their skill set so they feel like they can get something accomplished. When you get in a team setting, for example, that's like a test. That's like a game. 11 on 11, that's a game where you're playing 1-on-1 football or 7-on-7 or, half line. That's more like a school day, where you're learning, you're working on. Coach told me to step my left foot, right foot, left foot, my second foot, my power's in the ground, blah, 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 whatever the coach is teaching. In a small setting, it's better. So you're getting a kid that's not mentally as alert because he had all those tests, Billy. That's just one example. But that's what experience has taught me, and when I've been around coaches, and I try to share that with all the coaches, you have to find out about that kid, find out what they've been going through, and help them. And same thing with your coaches you're coaching with, somebody's house might have had could have had plumbing problems last night, one of your coaches. He stayed up all night dealing with the plumbing, and you talk to him, what's going on? And they have to trust you and have a chance to talk to you about things. And that's the beauty of what I learned about EQ. EQ is so important, emotional intelligence. And you better players, you better coaches, you better people have the higher EQ. And that's a 100%. That's going to be happening for you.
When they did the replay later on that night, when they do, was that ESPN Prime or Prime Time or whatever, and it's Tom Jackson and Boomer.
Yeah.
He the whole Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer.
Yeah.
He starts singing the Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer, but he put Tiny Dancer. Was a nice effect, but that's a staple. I'm telling you, man, that was those years in Dallas right there. That was weird because you got to remember, not 6-7 years ago, we were the pinnacle, man. It was at the top. You're at the top, and then that was. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was when Campo was there, right? That was Campo, Coach Campo, and Campo, man. Oh man, the poor guy. He was a coach. He was like a friend guy. He was like kind of like Barry Switzer. He was like, "Hey, I'll be your friend. Just don't make fun of me, and I'll be good." I mean, it was like he wasn't like Parcells or he wasn't like Jimmy Johnson. He was a player's coach. He was, hey, don't make me look bad. Let's win games. Just go out there. I'll let you, like a Larry Coker from Miami. I'll let y'all run the team, basically.
That's when we went to camp, and I came out of camp, and I gained weight. Camp was we were down in San Antonio. I was in the room the whole time. Camp was so easy because I'm used to real world. I'm South Carolina Heat. I know we're talking about Florida Heat, but that South Carolina Heat is not anything to play with either. Right. So I love the Heat. I'm like Lex Luthor. I get energy from the Heat. And that's how I was, man. I'm the one bouncing around, jumping, talking while we're doing conditioning. I was that guy. I even say right now, my out of shape is most people's in shape. But that whole deal, man, it was just something. It was something special because my whole thing was just getting out there and to be surrounded by some guys that really spoke life into me, man. It was great. It was great.
Now, I do want to add, after you score that touchdown, I did see Troy Hammer come up and almost beat the crap out of you. I mean, it was in celebration, but
dude, did you see him lift me up off the ground?
Yeah.
That's what we call that old man strength. Like, he literally grabbed me by my shoulder pads and lifted me off the ground, just straight strength. I didn't jump. Like, wow. Yeah, Troy. Yeah. That was something. I didn't realize it. And after I saw the replay and I saw that he did it, I was like, oh my God, this dude's strong. This dude is strong for real.
Yeah. Well, Woody, I mean, you gotta, I mean, you didn't even see that guy on the horse. I mean, so I wouldn't expect you to. I'm gonna keep bringing that up just so you know. No, I'm just kidding, but I get that. I mean, you're in the moment. I mean, you guys were happy. I mean, mind you, that put you guys up in the score. It was the fourth quarter. This is after. I mean, you're playing the Niners. I mean, they got T.O.
Just scored, and that was a returning kickoff after that deal, after he scored.
So back-to-back touchdowns. Bam, bam, like that. But that was, dude, I'm telling you, I mean, was that the only, but did you score any more touchdowns after? I mean, in that year, or was that the only one that you got that time?
I mean, I had a couple in the preseason, but I think I had one more after that.
Gotcha.
And I scored a couple times when I was in Atlanta. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say this too. This, when I talk about having a bunch of great guys around that really poured into me, like I was Littlewood, because we had Darren Woodson. They call him Woody. He would always speak life into me. Dexter Coakley always had my back. Quincy, still to this day, that's my big bro. So Quincy was my guy. Rahi Ishmael, who's another one that would speak life into me. But Rocket, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what it was, man. After that play, you didn't see, but Reggie Swinton came and grabbed me, yelling and screaming, "Man, that's big time! That's big time!" And if you think about it, what made that so special for me is he was a returner.
Yep.
When I came in, Reggie showed me how to catch the kicks properly, how to read, and how to catch punts. Reggie was pouring into me like none other, man. And for him to celebrate me after taking his spot, that shows you what kind of guy he was. Like, to this day, I was forever grateful to that guy. He's out there coaching now, doing his thing, man. I love Reggie.
Hey, Swinton had a touchdown against the Eagles. It was the opening kickoff, and he took it to the house. It was like a little, I don't think, was it an onside? I can't remember, but I remember him just grabbing it, and then it was like the seas parted. And he just, I mean, you're already at the 35 or 40-yard line, and he just took it to the house.
No. That wasn't Reggie. That
was him? Who was that?
God, what is his name?
I thought
that was Randall.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, we had really some real good returns back then. I mean, it was. I just wish the whole team could have been. You look at that roster though, and I mean, we still had a decent O-line. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand. I don't really know what the major problem was, but that was around the time that we went. I think it was like 5-10, or I know for a couple 5-11. I know for a couple years we went back to back like that. That was those Campo years. That's what I'm talking about. And before Bill got there and kind of made us contenders again. But you're talking about that little spot, and I was talking to Troy about this. He's talking about, people forget Randall Cunningham played for the Cowboys.
Yep, sure did.
I mean, and I loved it because I loved Randall Cunningham even when he was an Eagle. I don't tell too many people that because they're like, he was an Eagle. I mean, come on. But I love Randall Cunningham. So athletic, so versatile that he could do anything. He was like Superman to me. Like he was like, we had Troy. Troy would throw the ball. Troy's not scrambling like Randall Cunningham.
No, he's not.
If Troy got flipped over on his head like Randall did in some of those clips, Troy's career would not have been as long. I'll say that.
Right.
But I love the Cowboys. They're my team. I mean, right now it's just, we got to, I don't know, everybody's saying thank you, Jerry, for putting Micah over there at the Packers and getting some draft picks for him. But I'm hoping that they can do something with those draft picks and make something happen. I mean, like, get some help. I mean, we need some help in the secondary. Those guys are, man, it's just unbelievable how those first couple games they got toasted.
We are very, very thankful to have you representing our county. Tell me,
yeah. You try so hard.
I was going to say, yeah. So tell me a little more about. I mean, we'll kind of go into the whole process, and then I don't really need to. I don't know if we should like do your whole year, but because you haven't completed it yet. But let's start with the fair, like when the pageant, like for someone who is interested in doing the Sumter County pageant, what is something that you would recommend them do to like? Obviously, it depends on what talent they do or what they're gonna whatever their specialty is. But what is something you can like any advice you could give a young lady that's wanting to be in the Sumter County?
Take it all in, because when I competed for Sumter County, I did not know what I was getting myself into. I had competed before, and I've always gotten first runner up, and I was like, okay, let me try one more time, like just to see if I can win. And I won, and I did not expect like us to do things back to back to back to back. And everyone always talked about Fair Week, but I had never known. Yeah. And the night we won, Dana texted me on Instagram and said, I am so glad we won together. And I was like, I'm not taking my crown off. She goes, I just showered with it. And it was like we clicked right then and there. And we planned out our outfits together. We FaceTimed like every night. And it really like take it all in, because all the girls, like, you're stuck together for a week. And you might get sick of each other by sale day. Yeah. But we really are, Dana and I are closer than any of the girls, maybe because we are older, but we were with each other so much during Fair Week. Right. And so now we have that bond forever. So you really have to, like, enjoy it. Right. And it's long and it's tiring, but definitely enjoy it.
Dana, what do you think?
Well, I competed at Sumter County 3 times before I won the crown. I competed in teen all 3 years. I wanted to do it so bad when I was little, and my parents would not let me. And so when I was finally old enough to like make my own decisions, I decided I wanted to do it. And my 3rd year I won. I'm convinced I won with Julia because we're just meant to be. But
she was waiting to win for me.
Yes, I was waiting.
What it was.
I was waiting for that year.
Like when she competed before, she sat in her interview like this.
Like, don't pick me.
I'm just waiting for Julia to be here.
I was going to say, Dana, that's never, if you ever go for a job application, don't ever do that, because that is a telltale sign that you're not going to get hired. I don't even know. You should just go, well, I'll just show myself out the door. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and figure something else out, because that's not that kind of body language is it. That's why they teach you all that, because body language is a major telltale sign of what's going on inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a good trait to be able to read body language, because some people don't know how to read body language. Mm-hmm. So it is very good to, like, you don't want to talk to me? Okay.
Yeah.
It's also such a big part of how you win is in your interview, how you're talking to people, your stage presence, like just how you are as a person, how comfortable you are. Your confidence in yourself whenever you're talking, like that's a huge part of how you win. And like your interview is just, it's I think the most weighted thing.
Yeah, the interview is most weighted. It's like the most like highest percentage.
Because that's when the judges see you like one-on-one. You're talking to them. It's just you and them. They can ask you anything. It's really, I mean, you turn in a sheet with like little facts about you, but they can ask really anything. And the conversation can go so far in 7 minutes.
Yes, yeah. And that is actually the longest interview besides Miss Florida. That was the longest interview I had ever been in. And that was only a second pageant I competed with interview. And, like, this is an interview. And this is how you, like, want to be super comfortable with the judges. You can't be too nervous. You don't want to sit here and, like, brag about yourself. Like, you just want to talk to them.
Right. And like you said, if it's one-on-one, you open up more. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about this podcast. Yes. Although we're not one-on-one per se, it does allow you to feel more comfortable to open up. And I've had a lot of people open up. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I love it because I love to show the human side of people. I mean, people forget people are human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just think, this person's not like me, or they could never be hurt. I'm sure they didn't go through that, and they have. You just don't know about it because they don't talk about it until they can open up and, express how they feel. And that's such a big key to a great conversation. I mean, you want it to be genuine. You don't want it to be fake. That's why I never really prepare questions. I have a couple questions for you today, but nothing like, I never do that because, although I want to congratulate you. I think you're the youngest person I've ever had on my show.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were about to say. I was like,
how old are you?
An award.
I'm 16.
16. Okay, yeah, you beat Kel Ellis. He's 17. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, where's her plaque?
I know, right? We
Where's
need to get
her
that.
It's almost my birthday though. My birthday's in November.
Okay, well,
Okay.
but
It's like 2 months away.
but it still counts. Even if it was tomorrow, it would still count.
Yeah, true.
But like I was saying, going back to what I was saying, if you have this conversation with people and you show them, there's an old saying, I think it was Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with
First impressions
character.
mean a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I do understand that sometimes you can't base everybody off first impressions.
Yes.
I have a friend of mine that I worked with at Disney, and the first months that I worked with this young lady, I was like, she is like I don't know if we can be friends. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I just don't know about this. And we talk still. That was 25 years ago. We still talk because we're good friends. We've opened up, shared things, to be friends. That's how you do it. That's what a friend is. Someone who knows you better than your own self.
Yes.
So y'all doing this at the same time has made y'all come closer together. Y'all say a lot of this like it's like sisterhood. Like we have brotherhood. Y'all have sisterhood. I know exactly how that feels. Although y'all have different topics, it's still the same unity. You're bringing two people that. Did y'all know each other before this?
Not even a little bit. When I saw her at the meeting, I went and told all my friends that there was a redhead there, and I'd never seen her before.
When we were...
What are you, a spy?
I was like, we were talking about all the contestants, and I think there was 6 girls in this or something, and all of them were girls that I've known for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then Julia was the only one that I didn't know. I kept telling everyone she was the only one.
We went to the meeting to or I guess the orientation to sign up and everything, and the only person I knew was Shakira. I was the only person because she's competed before. And everyone said, stand up or raise your hand if you're in Miss. And I raised my hand, and I think there was about 17 people that turned around and just looked at me.
It was me. One of them was me.
And I was I wanted to put my hand so bad. I wanted to put my hand down so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Because I signed up that morning.
Yeah.
I had lost a previous pageant, and someone told me do Sumter County. Just do it. It's going to be so much fun. It was actually Shakira Huff that told me to do it.
Yeah.
And Gracie Shaw's aunt, the previous teen, told me to do it. I was like, okay. So I signed up that morning and showed up to the thing. But when we were practicing for our opening number and everything, Diana Timmons went, raise your hand if you've never competed before. And between all of the teen and all of them, I am the only one that raised my hand, and everyone just stared at me. And I was like,
yeah. Yikes. Yeah, well, I mean...
I'm definitely coming into, I don't want to say a clique, but, a family. I'm just kind of, coming in, and they're,
some girls,
super...
do it from the time that they're, in Little Miss, and they just go, Allie, our junior Miss, she's done all 3 of the younger titles.
Her goal is to win every single title.
And I think she's going to meet that goal.
She will be it.
She's going to be the first Miss America from Sumter County.
You think so?
I'm convinced.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah, but when she wins, she has to remember
us, because we were her
because
first.
When she is old enough to compete Miss America, I'll probably be 45.
Yeah,
not
seriously.
Really, not really.
We'll probably
Julia, the math is not opening.
What? How much older am I than her?
I'm
she
4
12?
years older than her.
Okay, then I'm 7 or 8 years older than her.
Yeah.
Is she 12? So yeah, I'm 7 years older than her.
So you might be pushing 30 by then.
Yeah, just
I know that feels like
her Miss America days will be over.
They will be over. But I will be Miss America, hopefully. If we in 20 years, if we look back on this and I wasn't Miss America, just forget I said anything. but I will be Miss Florida. That is like a goal. Yeah.
Listen, anytime you have a goal, pursue it. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that you really want to do, I have learned through this that if it's something you really want to do, you'll do it.
Yes.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. So if, now there are things that you have to do to put yourself out into the network and get people to recognize you and stuff. Show your face, meet new people, networking.
Yes.
But if you want to do something, I've always said, I heard this, I don't remember where I heard it from, but they're like, you're never going to be good at something you're not interested in. And that's very true because you have no interest, so therefore there's no effort, there's no time, there's no
heart in it.
That's right. There's no work ethic. So to continue to strive to maintain this goal, you have to have some kind of ambition. That's why a lot of people they'll have this idea, they'll have a dream. People say I have a dream all the time. I want to do this one day, and then life happens, and so they say I want to open up a restaurant, and then they realize, oh, wow. There's a lot of obstacles in the way.
Yeah.
I've got a family. I need money. I don't know how to run a restaurant. But some of the best people that could run a restaurant, they've never had any experience with that. They just kind of went and did it. Why? Because there was passion. You have to have that passion. And as long as you show how badly you want something, I think it speaks volumes for even if you don't succeed in what you were aiming at, you still tried hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, served at Lake Panasoffkee and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 34 years, we have strived to serve great food at good prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our wings and burgers are the best around. We have our daily specials too. We are open Wednesday through Saturday. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information.
Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing wear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kenningston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store.
Why make two stops when you could shop at two amazing stores under one roof? Visit Molly Pops on Main Boutique and the Stitching Heifers in the heart of downtown Bushnell for all your clothing, accessories, and custom gear. At Molly Pops on Main Boutique, you can find stylish women's and men's apparel, novelty items, and the perfect gift ideas.
The Stitching Heifers is your one-stop shop for embroidered and printed hats, custom patch hats, and trending graphic tees that can be fully customized for you, your company, or your next big event. Whether you need a single design or a whole company's worth of branded gear, they've got you covered. Come see us at 110 Bushnell Plaza in Bushnell. Shop in-store or browse online anytime at mponmaine.com and thestitchingheifers.com. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck, the delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck.
Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Panasoffkee's only craft beer tap room, offering 12 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beer, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub food. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app.
Whether your water is supplied by a public municipality or a private well, for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709.
So having him as a coach helped you, and like you said, when you went back, you're 16, you go back home, you go, you know what, I think I made the right decision, and now you know you made the right decision.
Yeah.
And it would have been, I can't say what it would have been like if you would have went to Alabama, but
right.
We just gave an example about the national championship.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out, but you know what I mean? Like, you never know. You could have made it better for Alabama. Maybe they were missing you, or they were missing a piece, and you were able to fill that, but that's devil's advocate. You're like, oh, what if I did this? And well, what if I had wings? I could fly.
Right.
It doesn't matter now. It's what you did. And even if you hadn't have won the national championships, I mean, it's still what you did. I mean, it was your choice, and you can't, it's like, don't blame anybody else. That's where you wanted to go. That's what you chose. And a lot of people, they don't see it like that sometimes. They want to go to places and go, well, I went there for the jerseys, or I went there because
I chose Florida because I wanted to win a national championship. I realized later what I was getting in an education. Because again, I didn't grow up in Florida. I came out here and everyone the way because I'm in student ministry now. So they talk about the way they talk about Florida. I'm like, oh, whoa, it's a big deal, academically. And, so I had no idea at the time. But I knew I wanted to win a national championship. And I felt like, I could have done that. The year before I went to college, Alabama won it. So I was like, there was that feeling going into college of oh man, Alabama could have, so there's all of those types of feelings about you never know if it's truly the right choice, but at some point you just got to choose your choice and own it and really buy in. And I'm so grateful because struggles, all the things, super high highs, low lows when I was in college. But I really feel like I became the woman I was supposed to become there. Through the people I met there. And it's easy to say I wouldn't change a thing because we won 2 national championships, but truly, I met my husband there. There's so many things about my life now that go back to me choosing Florida when I was 16.
Well, before we get too far into Florida, I want to stick to California because you're gonna be shocked, but I've never been there, so I have no idea what it's like. Besides the cliche, I've seen it on movies and TV, and it's for someone who's never been anywhere, it's almost like whatever you're talking about, wherever you're gonna go, it seems like a mythical place. You're like, oh yeah, and it never rains there. I know it rains there. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I used to work at Disney I was there for 16 years and a half, 16 and a half. I've never been to Disneyland. That's the OG. That's where it started.
Yeah. We had passes. I grew up 10 minutes from there.
See, you think I could have made a trip out there, got in for free, never went. But what was it like? What was it like being in Cal? What was growing up in California like?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the suburbs of LA, probably. I was in between LA and San Diego, are probably 2 of the bigger areas that have 2 very different feels. So just kind of suburban living. I lived with my grandparents. My parents got divorced when I was 4, and so we moved in with my grandparents. I grew up in the house that my mom grew up in because my mom ended up buying the house from them when they decided to move to more of a senior living situation.
Right.
And so from 4 to 18 until I left for college, I grew up in the same house. And so Brea, California I grew up in Brea, and I went to Brea Linda High School, and where my mom went to school, everything. So being a Monroe where I grew up felt kind of special, at least to me. My grandpa was really involved in Parks and Rec and like softball community. Um, so I mean, I grew up like 30, 40 minutes from the beach, an hour on a bad traffic day, That's the one, like traffic affects just about everything. And then, you could get to the mountains in an hour and a half. You could get to the river in 4 hours, 5 hours.
Oh wow.
So that's one thing about California is you can do just about anything there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the beach, the mountains, the river. Um, you could get to Vegas in 3.5 hours from where I grew up, um, which is where my family ended up moving right outside of Vegas when I left for school. So we would do that drive back and forth quite a bit when I would come home for college breaks. But yeah, it's can't beat the weather in California. I will take hot over cold any day, so I do not mind Florida, but there's like no humidity. So the weather is perfect.
Yeah.
When I go back to visit, I'm always like, oh, this is nice. But I love Florida now. I did not think I would stay here. Had I not met my husband, I probably would have gone back, but my husband's a Florida man through and through. So, it's if you were to go there, you would see some similarities. And then in other ways, it's like completely different than
Yeah.
Florida.
I was gonna say, now I have been to Vegas, so
Yes.
I got that close. I've been that close, but I haven't. We did the whole. Got to go to the Hoover Dam, and we went to was it Red Rock Canyon?
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful there.
Yes, very very cool. Did all that stuff. It was really really cool. And I didn't mind Vegas. It was okay. I mean, I would like to go back. It's not something that you do on the regular. Like it's not like. I mean, there are people. Don't get me wrong. There's people gonna be like, "Oh, I love Vegas."
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I just. It's not like, it's been I think 2021 we went, so it's like it's post COVID.
Well, and it's like growing up in California, Vegas is no big deal because you can get there in 3.5 hours from where I grew up. Yeah. Flying across the country to go to Vegas, man, I don't know. Like,
exactly.
How often are you gonna do that? It's like, say my grandpa was like loved Hawaii. And so flying to Hawaii from California is like flying from here to California. So if you want to it's like a 10-hour flight. I'm like, golly, that's like going to Japan. Like, no thanks. But my mind, like I just grew up, like people would go on vacation to Hawaii all the time because it was right there. And versus over here, I mean, I know a lot of people that Hawaii is not on their radar because it's so dang far. I'm like, oh, right. Duh. I'm way over here now.
We from what I've heard, we just go to the Bahamas. That's the eastern Hawaii.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we go down to the Keys now. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, and the Keys, you know what? I'm a native Floridian. I was born and raised here, and for 43 years, actually for 41 years, we honeymooned. We did a cruise, my wife and I, and one of the stops was Key West, and that was the first time ever that I've been to Key West, and I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, very fun. We love it.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I want to go back. And the bad thing about cruises is you don't have much time at the port. I mean, people are going to go, my God, you had 5 hours. I'm like, yeah, but you've never been there. That's like going into a store and they're about to close, and it's that all right, shoppers, we have 5 minutes. And you're like, right. I want to see it all.
Totally. My husband's he's a charter captain, so the last 2 years we've taken a week in the summertime during lobster season, and we just take the boat down. So we have the boat, which is so fun. We usually hit up Marathon, so it's about halfway down, so you can do a day trip down to the Keys, or down to Key West, but it's a little more mild. So we enjoy it down there.
My grandfather used to go down to the Keys, and he would go get the lobsters, and they're think of lobster, they're smaller, they're like little, they're not like Maine lobsters where
they're not.
And we were just in Maine like maybe 2 months ago, and I'd never been there, and I was telling somebody about we have lobsters in Florida, and they're like, no, you don't.
Right, very different lobsters.
I'm like, yeah. They're more of a crustacean than
Right. Oh, I'm sure the lobster people up in Maine have lots of opinions on our lobster down here.
It's not even comparison. Like they have you ever been to Maine?
No, I have not.
Oh, you go there. We went to Bar Harbor. You can fly
Mm-hmm.
into Bangor, or I called it Bangor, and they all looked at me like, and I'm like, what? Oh, it's Bangor. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And so I was like, Bangor, Maine. And
Uh-huh.
it's a 45-minute drive from there to Bar Harbor. And we stayed outside of Bar Harbor, and Bar Harbor's it's on an island. So you have
Oh,
to,
cool.
but it's beautiful. It's very, it's all the wilderness. It's all these trees and cliffs and
Mm-hmm.
mountains. And, but anyways, when we went there, it is like, Bar Harbor is like a small version of like St. Augustine almost.
Oh.
It's like a fishing town. Yeah, like
Yeah.
all these towns on the coast, they all look
Uh-huh.
alike. If you ever notice, you go to St. Augustine, you go to Savannah, you go to
Yeah.
Charleston, they all look alike. They have
Mhm.
different things that they've got, their little quirks or whatever you'd
Yeah.
say. But it's literally the same thing. It's not even, I mean, it's a fishing town. So they
Right.
all have that same vibe. I mean,
Yep.
now, don't get me wrong; they all have their different things, but
Right. Histories, all
like
that
yeah,
type of stuff.
and Bar Harbor it's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go,
Cool.
but when you go there, there's two things on the side of the road you'll see firewood, because apparently it gets really cold up there. Even though
Yeah.
I mean, we went in July, so it was like, I don't know, during the day it was like high of 85, and they're all like, oh, they're like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, really?
This is great.
It's 110 at home,
Yeah.
and that and the wood and lobsters. They have a lobster.
Yeah.
They call them lobster pounds. All over. I mean, they'll be on the side of the road. You just you pull up, and literally they have all these tables in the back, and you order your lobster, and it's like an ice cream shop or something. You go
Yeah.
out there, and which they had ice cream too. They're very proud
Lovely.
of their blueberry that's in season.
Okay.
Blueberry ice cream, they love it up there.
Mhm.
But you go up there and they got tables in the back, and you sit there and you just, you wear the bib.
Yeah.
They have
No
a hose.
way.
You got to hose
That's awesome.
you got to hose.
Yeah, I gotta
hose
get up
your
there.
family down. You get in the car. You're like, I got
Yeah.
butter everywhere. It's pretty great. But that's the East Coast. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's Northeast, but I would love to go to California. We just never have been. But man,
Yeah.
I can't. But it's a lot different, when you said no humidity, and
Yeah.
you said hot over cold. I'm the complete opposite. I want cold over hot because of the humidity. You can't get away from it. So I'm like,
No.
give me a nice cold, or even, can we even have like seasons down here, for crying out loud?
I know.
There's no
That
fall.
California doesn't really do seasons very well, but it's
True.
all mild. Everything's
True.
just mild. Like they'll have heat waves and stuff like that, but it's, if it's 80 during the day, it's 60 at night. And so you
Yeah.
get those like cool evenings, and I think if I miss anything, it's just that the weather is so perfect.
And I've heard that too, especially in San Diego.
Mhm.
We've had
Yeah.
some people stay there or live. We had a few people live there from here, and then come back, and they were staying out there for quite a while. And we had people in the Navy and stuff, but they were quite proud of the weather out there. But
Mhm.
Maine, it was, like I said, it was in the middle of July. We're in here, you know how it is in July at night.
Oh gosh.
It's so muggy, but up there we had a fire going. Oh, but
Mhm.
we didn't see any bugs.
That sounds wonderful.
No bugs. It was great. I was like, can we just switch the signs around and put Florida up here and Maine down here?
Yeah.
We'll keep it. You can have the lobsters. You can take the lobsters with you, but if that's all you're worried about. But
even speaking on the reminiscent part, like I just growing up here in Sumter County, like I always think about the days where, we'd have big field parties and all that. I miss those days, or even like spring break. Like there's literally like songs that'll come on. I'm like, oh, I can like go back to a time and place just from hearing that song as soon as it comes on.
Isn't it funny how songs can do that?
Yeah.
Where you can just go, I know there's several songs about that.
Yeah, there is.
But like I always think of Kenny Chesney's song, I Go Back.
Oh, yeah.
And that song, You can hear a song and you go, I remember the first time I heard that song.
Yeah.
Or I can remember I was here, I was with these people. I mean, I can't remember my password on my on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember back in '87 when I heard, this song for the first time or where I was. It's crazy, but
even on the nostalgic part, like that's like Kenny Chesney's stuff was so like the build ups to the songs and just even the lyrics. But I mean, that's why it was so good in stadiums.
Funny story about Kenny Chesney. I heard somebody say, I like Kenny Chesney, but I like it before he went to Mexico.
Before he was no shoes, no shirt.
Yeah. All his early stuff.
Yeah.
Like when he was playing in Knoxville at the bars and, hanging out with Peyton Manning back in the day at University of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that. I do love the coastal songs, though. All the beats and some great stuff.
I think they're great, too. I like some of the stuff. Majority, I'd say 95% of the stuff he's done since the old stuff is just as great. And he's one of those guys that, he's like, he's a great humanitarian too. He does things for people, and like when when the islands got hit by the hurricane, he did a bunch of stuff for them. And he's a great guy. Just a great all around guy, and those are guys that you love to listen to, and you go, I don't think I listen to anybody and go, gosh, thank God this guy's not a douche. I mean, they're a good guy
for sure, and his songs were so good. Like, my brother lived in the Virgin Islands for a little bit, and we went out there, and I saw his boat out there docked, and he had a sweet boat. But yeah, living out there, I bet it was pretty cool. The Virgin Islands is definitely island time. Everything moves slow there. Well,
speaking of like big stars like that, like I know you've done tours before.
Yeah,
you've done some tours. Tell me what it's like, because a lot of people that don't understand or they've never experienced that. But tell me a little bit about life on the road. Like what are your pros and cons about that?
I love it. I think like for me, when I moved to Nashville, I want to be an artist before anything. That's my main priority. So being on the road is good, and I've done a lot of shows, but I still haven't gotten like on a tour where I'm playing 3-4 shows a week. So I guess I don't have too much to complain about yet, because for me it's great.
Right.
But I've opened up for artists, like Ernest and Easton Corbin and Craig Morgan and all these guys, and like when you get in front of their crowd, it's great. Getting the ups and downs can be a little different. I'll go play a show in front of, it could be 1,000 people, then I could go play another show and it be in front of 50. So finding the balance between that, you get such a adrenaline rush in front of a big crowd, and then when you're off the road, you're like searching for that, which is where dirt bikes are good for me. I get to go ride and get that adrenaline rush. But yeah, the pros are you get to make new fans, you get to get experience, you get to try out new songs. It's a blast. And then sometimes the sleep is not great.
Yeah,
the travel's not fun. The packing up, unloading, all that stuff is not as fun. We're at the level we got to do that ourselves. So
I was gonna say, and maybe this will help you too, because there's a lot of things that I do regularly that I do, and it's monotonous, right? And when you're wanting to do something, and it's for your craft or whatever you're doing, you're like, man, I don't want to set up, and then you go, well, what would I be doing right now? Like literally, once you take a step back and you think, even just like work, just like a regular job, okay, you go, man, I really don't want to go to work. I'm like, well, but what would I be doing right now? Like, if you remember when you went to school and you were sick and you stayed home, right, and you had that, you're like, man, the next day you come back and you're like, wait, y'all did all that without me?
Yep.
What did we learned something by that. We missed out, and the world still goes on.
Yep.
So a lot of I try to make sure, like, I understand that when something that I think is like monotonous or, God, I don't want to do that again. Like, for example, when I worked at Disney, I got to drive the night parade. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it was a privilege and an honor to do that in my point of view, because they don't let just anybody do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know about now, but back when I did it 15 years ago, it was an honor. I was like, this is going to be awesome. But I did make a promise to myself. I would hear people say, I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And they're like, oh, I got to drive parade. Yeah. Like they were annoyed by it. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
We get to where we don't want to do that. Okay. But you also forget the reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Or the reason how, you did so much to get to where you're at that you tend to forget about the process and the journey.
Yep.
And so once you get it, it's almost like when you're a kid and you want something for Christmas and you get it. Do you really cherish it as much as you would when you wanted it?
Definitely not.
No, because
you take advantage of it. Now you got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Just like anything else, you get what you need and then you're like, okay, whatever.
I think that's why they say money can't buy happiness. You think it can, then you get what you were wanting so bad, and then you're like, oh, I got this. You're not satisfied. What else do I want? What's next?
Absolutely. Has anybody ever asked you what's your favorite song you perform?
Yeah, I don't know that I have an answer for that.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I was going to give you an example of Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite joke? And he's like, well, that's like asking me what's my favorite breath of air. He goes, whatever gets me to the next one.
Yeah. Whatever keeps me on stage.
Yeah, whatever. So there's a lot of truth to that. Like, a lot of people got like, whatever gets me to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be, and it's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
How do you get inspiration for your songs?
Definitely like the life I've lived. I feel like for me, a lot of my songs are influenced by the way I grew up, growing up in a small town. I know you've heard it a million times, but it's just what I know. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people know. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And then, sometimes you just make stuff up, but I feel like just, growing up here was a blessing and also gave me a lot to talk about. So I have that. Yeah. Luckily, I haven't gone through a bunch of heartbreak, but I still write about it.
Yeah.
And, I think sometimes just getting away out of Nashville and going to do something, if it's coming back here and just doing nothing, you get inspired by just a little bit of rest. And sometimes, going out and on vacation, that'll inspire me. And like you were saying earlier, going in the woods and just sitting there quietly and soaking up the quietness, and sometimes spark ideas in my head for a hook or an idea that I want to write about next. So I think just living life is kind of the way I'd get inspired to write. Because sometimes, if I'm in Nashville and I'm writing 4 or 5 days a week for months at a time, I'm like, well, what am I going to write about now? What's next? What do I want to say?
Right.
And I got to figure that out.
Yeah, personal experiences help tremendously, especially like when you live in a small town or whatever, like you said, and then going through something. Mm-hmm. And I guess the beauty of that is that there's somebody out there that's going to hear that song and be like, bro, I know how that feels.
Exactly. Even if I haven't gone through it, and I can be like, I can think about it, and there's someone that has it, will relate to it. If I can feel it and like kind of put myself in those shoes, then I also like to do that.
It's also how you perform that song too.
Yeah.
You can. I always gave I gave an example to my buddy one time. There's the song. Oh my gosh, I just had the song. It's Sammy Kershaw wrote it. I think he wrote it.
Yeah.
But Tim McGraw covered it. I'm not as good as, or no. I can't even think of the song. But anyways, I'm like, when Tim McGraw sings it, I feel like I'm in there with a bunch of people.
Uh-huh.
Like he's singing to a stadium.
For sure.
But when Sammy sings it, I feel like he's singing it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell, sometimes you can tell when someone wrote it from personal experience, and sometimes you can tell when someone's just singing it. But I mean, there's so many songs that we all grew up on that like that person didn't experience that, but they knew other people have, so they sang it like Kenny Chesney, "There Goes My Life." Does he have any kids?
No, I don't
think so. But he sold that song so well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because people can relate to it.
People can relate to that. Like every parent out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For the most part.
A lot of people. The songs are memorable because they're relatable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that I Go Back song.
Oh yeah.
When you got somebody singing about a certain song and then they go, all right, even the songs that he was talking about in the song, you can say, oh yeah, I remember that, or that reflected their life in a different way or whatever. And so you just, I think we lose how compatible everybody really is. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I said earlier about going through the same things, like, I've said this before, but people don't want to admit their struggles or shortcomings because they go, you don't know how it is, or you don't know, you couldn't possibly understand what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And people are like, really? Try me.
Yeah.
Like I said, over the millions of people that have lived on this earth before us, and nobody knows exactly how you feel.
We're all in the same boat.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think people tend to forget that. I think they tend to forget how close and relatable everything is. It may not have the same names like the characters in a book or a movie, but it's the same principle.
Yeah.
You think about it. There in the movie world, there's only like a couple different movies. I mean, there's about 5 different movies, and they all have different spins on them.
All just little different spins.
There's a good guy and a bad guy. Bad guy gets good guy, or tries to get good guy gets bad guy. I mean, it's very, very simple. The simplicity of it is very, but then there might be a plot twist, or sometimes the bad guy gets the good guy, or whatever. But there's different variations of this of that. But
same thing with music.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much to talk about.
Exactly.
It's like, how are we going to put our spin on, like, how I'm going to talk about it, how I'm going to sing about it, how I'm going to write about it.
Speaking of, we were talking about TikTok earlier. I've seen it not just on TikTok, but on other social media platforms. They do the reactions to the music, and and when you know that they're going to play this song and you've heard it a million times and they've never heard it, and just to see their face. Yeah. These 2 people did a reaction for a Whiskey Lullaby.
Yeah.
And they were like amazed by the guitar playing by Brad Paisley. But when the Alison Krauss came on there and sang, they were like, what?
Oh yeah.
So
the song was so good.
Yeah. And it's just one of those, the song can be very haunting too, because of at the end when it's like la 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 la, it kind of fades out, and you're like, you can almost picture yourself being there when they find those 2 people. And you're like, wow, it was a broken heart that drove these 2 people to do what they do.
I forgot about that song.
It's such a great song.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe you should do acoustic of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to go back. I know we said something about you mentioned the kids loving Home Alone.
Yeah.
I got to ask you real quick. It's kind of not a trend, but it's been going around social media, and they're talking about how Home Alone is not just a Christmas movie, but it's also a Christian movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I haven't seen this. Okay.
So let me set this up for you.
Okay.
So as you and it's funny that you said we watch it all the time, so you'll be very, very up to date with it, because a lot of people are like, I haven't seen it in so long, I don't remember.
I think we watched it 2 or 3 times now since like Christmas season.
Oh, okay. So
Rowan likes it.
So the deal is, so first of all, the writers are devout, like they're Catholic.
Oh, okay.
They're Catholic.
Okay.
So they're Christians.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people like that, like they're just now realizing this, which is kind of cool, but but ironic. It's funny that nobody's really picked up on this till now. As many years as it's been out, because it's been out for 30 years.
Holy cow! That's crazy.
Can you believe that?
Wow. Just reminds me I'm getting close to being 30.
I know. Oh, bro, come on, man. I'm 40. I'll be 44. Come on. But anyways, Old Man Marley?
Yeah.
Okay, so Old Man Marley, they portray that as like that's Jesus.
Okay, so the first time you ever see Old Man Marley, what is he doing? Do you remember? They're looking through the window and he's out there with the snowplow and he's
yeah.
And what is he doing? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
He's salting.
Even though I've
he's
just
salting
watched
the
the show.
sidewalks.
Okay.
So he's salting the earth.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So people are like, okay, that's just one, right? Mm-hmm. So then you then it goes on to when he goes in to get the toothbrush.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
And he comes in and he puts his hand on the. Have you ever noticed his hand's wrapped and there's blood?
No, I have not. Okay, I got to go back.
Bro.
We're watching that today. I got to see all these little things
that
you just don't pay attention to.
No,
you know
and
what I mean?
they're like little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. And then what's the other one? There's two more. So then you go to when Kevin goes into the church, the cathedral.
Yeah.
And it's like and the song that's like one of the most it's such a beautiful moment that the music in the background, falling your knees and like it's just a very, very like very Christmassy, like it's beautiful.
Right.
And he shows up in the church with him.
Yeah.
And it's like he's supposed to be with him there.
Yeah.
Okay. And he talks to him about so and so about reconciling with his, kids and everything.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when the robbers catch Kevin,
he comes in and knocks him.
He comes in and helps save
him. Yeah.
Right. So
that's
these things, bro. It's crazy how
little nuggets of stuff.
Yeah,
in
like
there.
little,
That's cool.
like a little,
It's taken
Easter
30
eggs.
years for people to notice these.
And seriously, like I've seen like this, and I was like, oh, maybe I should talk about it. Maybe I shouldn't. But
that's cool.
But it was cool because
that is really neat.
I'm not like a trend kind of guy, whatever. But it's a cool thing. But I've seen it.
I'm sure after
several.
us talking about it right now, it'll show up on my TikTok later.
yeah, exactly. I listened to a podcast called The Confused Breakfast.
Okay.
And what they do is they rate. They'll go and watch a movie and they'll like break it down and they'll talk about like if there's behind the scenes stuff or they rate it. Like it's like a rewatch.
Yeah.
So they're like like a lot of nostalgic like things like they did The Sandlot, and Predator. And so these are all movies I love.
All classics. Yeah.
All classics. So and then there's some that obviously that I've never heard of or I haven't seen. But it gives you an idea in case you haven't seen it, maybe what you can also. It's another perspective of the movie. But I think
cool.
I saw it on that at first. It might have been, but it's kind of a thing going on right now. But
that's neat.
It was really cool.
That is really neat.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of movies that are that way that have hidden stuff like that we don't know about.
But a lot of people are like, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie. And they're like, well, no, duh. I'm like, no. I meant it's a Christmas movie, like Christian movie. Yeah, like this ain't no Hallmark movie right here.
Right. Bella loves Hallmark movies.
My
man.
gosh, my wife.
Gosh.
Oh, if she look, we would probably put stock in Hallmark. I'm telling you, she loves some Hallmark.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who does.
They're all the same.
Yes, he does. He's
it's
like
the same story.
Well, that's what he does. I want to say he's like a civil engineer or something like that. And he breaks it down. And he's got like a randomizer thing, and he goes, all right, here's the list, and he kind of reminds me of Keith Hellman.
Okay,
like he's like, here's the list right here. Right. Yeah. So it says like, like for the woman, it shows her job, and it's like she's a hairstylist, she's a reporter, she's a rock star, blah blah blah. And then for the man, he's a NFL player or a sports guy, he's a prince, blah blah. And then it's like, it takes place in New York. In the mountains.
You could just plug and play all these and have the same storyline.
So he did like a randomizer, and it's like blah 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 blah, and it literally showed the movie like A Prince for Christmas or something like that. He's like, look guys,
it's so easy to write these.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, and they're all filmed in Canada.
That is so funny. At Christmas time.
At Christmas, it's always snowing. Like, and it's like my dad has this baking business.
Yeah.
She's just like rolling some dough out. She's like, and some guy walks in. She's like, oh, hi. Just running my dad's baking business here.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so funny.
What is going on right here? Is she all right?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about? We're going to go back to Home Alone. What was your favorite part about Home Alone?
Honestly, it's just them trying to break into the house and all the little booby traps that he has.
That's classic.
I know that's just like the classic thing, but like it's just so funny, like all the stuff that he does to him. I saw someone say that. It pops up on my TikTok yesterday. Was like, I don't know how true it is, but a doctor said like all the things that happened to them probably would have just killed them. Like they would not have lived with all the stuff that hit them in the head and everything. You know?
Yeah, an iron to the head.
And yeah, a hot iron to the head, you know. Them falling on the wet asphalt outside, hitting their heads, falling from the, you know, when he cuts the rope from them trying to climb across to the treehouse to him, and they fall down.
The part where he puts his head through the door.
Yeah.
Of the cranes, I'm telling you.
I was like, what was that? It's picking that up.
Velociraptor. No, this is the
Jurassic
big
Park.
cranes. Yeah. When Harry, I think it's Harry, he sticks his head through the doggy door.
And he gets shot with a BB gun.
Which they don't have a dog. Have you noticed that?
Oh.
There's no dog in there.
Why is there a doggy door?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I think I just
did it for that show.
I just came across something that, like, what? They have a doggy door, but there's no dog.
No dog the whole time.
But he sticks his head through, and he's like, Kevin's there with the BB gun. He goes,
yeah.
Hello. And the way he does this, those two guys, physical comedy. Daniel Stern was amazing.
Yeah.
But so funny.
And then like Kevin, like as young as he was, the amount of acting he did in that movie was impressive.
Well, I think I read somewhere just last night or the day before, Macaulay Culkin has kids of his own.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the kids have seen Home Alone yet, or he hasn't told them that that's him.
Yeah.
Is what I read. From
the thing that I saw was he hadn't told them that it was him. He's trying to keep that illusion
there you go.
Of
that's
Kevin the whole time, that it's not him yet. Because they'll make comments like, that kind of looks like Dad. Like,
Wait till they see the Google commercial or whatever it was when
right?
they did it, and they're like, and it's him as an older version.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's Dad. What's he doing on TV?
Which is wild to think about, like growing up and not knowing how famous your dad is.
Bro, that movie, let me tell you, it would have been all over with quick because when Kevin when Kevin attacks his brother Buzz and they tussle in the kitchen and the milk gets spilled. Have you ever noticed?
I didn't notice till the other day.
Okay, I was gonna
somebody showed it on TikTok.
They throw his airplane ticket. He wasn't getting on the plane anyways.
No, I've never noticed that in the movie at all, that they threw the airplane ticket away. That's another one that no one notices.
There's this is also cool too. And if you go to Netflix, Netflix has a series out. It's called The Movies That Made Us, kind of like The Toys That Made Us.
Okay.
And they did Home Alone, and they showed you the production of it.
Oh, cool.
They actually filmed that in an old high school.
Really?
So they had a pool because up north they have swimming teams. We don't do that where we have water down here. We don't. Well, the villages have one, but anyway.
Growing up here,
we didn't know. Nobody around here had. Maybe Lake County. I would have to assume or they just went to Lake Harris. They're like, all right, swim in the water and avoid the alligators.
Yeah.
But
that's your training. Outswim the alligators.
That's great core training right there. And cardio.
Yeah. You'd go through a lot of kids though.
You're like, swim all right, team would be next. All right, in the water.
Your swim team would be amazing because you'd only have the best of the best.
Like Michael Phelps was training there.
Yeah.
And Lake Harris or Lake what was that? What's the other one over there? That's
oh my gosh.
The one over by Walmart.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm blanking on what it's called.
Gosh, and I live here. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, but they filmed this in a high school.
Okay.
And, so they filmed the scene where the wet bandits, where he was clogging the sink and it was running down the sink. So they filmed that in the pool. So they built a set. Oh. That's why the water would just run in the pool and drain out.
Oh, that's smart.
And so they just had it. It was kind of cool. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Another like behind the scenes thing was they did a production. They shut down production. They're like, all right, and what it was they had everybody like in a big circle.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, all right, we're having a staff meeting. Everybody show up. Everybody come around, gather around everybody. Mm-hmm. We're gonna halt production. No, it was You tell the costuming. Costuming tells the props.
Yeah.
Props tells so and so. They tell the key grips and blah blah. It goes down the list, right? And it kind of in a circle. About midway through, by the time it was like a game of telephone, by the time they got to the end, they're like, no, we're back up. Like production's back up because they were going to pull the plug.
Right.
They're like, no, we're back. So they went back and they're like, no, go back to work.
Yeah.
No, put that back. So it was kind of cool, but it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the movie was almost not made at
Wow.
one point. No, it's kind of cool how
And
things
it's
like that
now
work.
one of the number one most watched Christmas movies.
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to convince people that Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie, and it is a Christmas movie. You've seen that, right? Die Hard.
It's been a while since I've watched Die Hard.
I was gonna say you gotta watch Die Hard, man.
I might have to throw that one on.
That's the ultimate. Well, you can't do it with the kids.
No. We'll have to wait till the kids go to bed. It's okay. They go to bed at 7 and 8. We'll be good. We'll get our movie time in.
But Dad, what's going on at Nakatomi Plaza? What's going on there? That guy's really
Rowan
upset.
is way too observant. You can't watch that kind of stuff around.
Oh yeah, no. Then they start to mimic.
Oh yeah. He's starting to quote Home Alone. That's how much we watch it already.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Speaking of that, my niece, she's 9.
Yeah.
She loves that part where it says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Oh, yeah, that's what
And
he's been
Happy New-"
saying.
Right?
He's been saying that, and then he's been saying, the scene where he plays the TV and he's got the machine gun, and he's saying, I'm going to pump your belly full of lead.
Yeah.
He's been saying that, too.
Yeah, that was that scene right there was we would recreate at my grandma's pool and fall in. For 1, 2, 10, just fall in the pool. Like we got taken out. But we were at the cemetery the other day, and we did the wreaths across the.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It went well. That was a phone call.
You said it would happen.
Yeah, I told you.
You said it would happen.
It always happens. But anyways, we went to a family member. It's my cousin's husband. His grandfather.
Okay.
Had to make the connection there.
Yeah.
We put a wreath on the grave and stuff, and my niece goes. At the end of we see her. Both sets of grandparents are out there, and I have an Uncle Bill that's out there, and now an Uncle Bobby, who just passed away. And anyways, we go out there and we put it on there, and as we're turning, we're like, "Merry Christmas," we say "Merry Christmas" as we were leaving, and my niece says, "Merry Christmas, you fluff." I thought she said "filthy animal." She said "you fluffy animal" and "Happy New Year." And I was like, "Avery, you can't. What are we doing here?"
That's funny. That's funny.
So she's like, and I'm like, freaked out because she said it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I said fluffy animal." I was like, "Well, that's still kind of."
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's funny.
I mean, that's not something you say in the cemetery.
Yeah. So you got to pick and choose where you can say that and who you say that to.
Exactly. I was like, if you're at Walmart, okay. Hey, you want to tell the guy getting the carts?
Yeah. That's funny. Kids, they're too honest.
I know. Bro,
They say whatever comes to their mind. No matter whose feelings it might hurt.
Oh my gosh.
They're the most truthful. You want to know how your outfit is? Ask a 3-year-old.
You're like, "What do you think of that?" "I don't like it." Yeah. All right.
Huh.
You're like, well, at least they're honest. I can't get an honest answer out of most people. Right. But ask a.
People are scared to give their honest opinion.
Hey, does your let's see, the oldest.
Yeah.
Does he like to hide stuff? Have any of them done that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not trying to hide
wait
stuff.
Wait till you can't find your car keys.
Yeah. The only thing Rowan did, he was 1 when he did this, and he didn't know what he was doing. But so he flushed my Apple Watch down the toilet. Yeah. So we came home from church one day. I took my Apple Watch off to charge it, and cause I had worn it to sleep the night before, so it was almost dead. So I put it on the charger. And, I do my natural thing, turn on football. Bella lays down in the bed. I lay on the couch. Rowan's running around. It was just Rowan at the time because he was 1.
Right.
So, all the doors in the house are closed, and he ain't going anywhere. So he's playing. We both fall asleep, right? So napping a little bit. Wake up from, like our hour nap or whatever. Go about our day. Well, the next day I wake up to And my first thing I do is always put my Apple Watch on. Go over. My Apple Watch is gone. Where's my Apple Watch? I'm like, oh, Rowan must have grabbed it. It's probably in his bedroom somewhere, you know. Tear the house apart. Nothing. Cannot find the Apple Watch. I'm like, okay, well, I'll pull up my phone to see if I can track it and see where it's at. Can't find it. Does not showing up on the tracker. Last known location is right there on the nightstand. I'm like, this is so weird. And Rowan could not talk yet. And so we asked him, he was walking. We're like, you know, did you grab my Apple Watch? And like, where'd you put it? And Bella asked him first. And he walked her to the bathroom. The door was closed. He tapped the door. She opened the door. He walked over and pointed at the toilet. And so I was like, well, maybe he's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm like giving him a bit of, maybe he didn't put it in the toilet. So like the next day I ask him the same question, same thing. He goes and points at the toilet. And so sure enough, he put it in there and we flushed it. And didn't know it was in there right down the toilet, Apple Watch. So it took me like 3 years and I finally, or 2 years, and I finally got me another one, but he put it right in the toilet. So that's a funny joke to tell. Yeah. He didn't know what he was doing.
No, I can see you like Bella, we got this potty training thing down, man. Everybody says it's so hard.
He was easy to potty train. She did it in over a summer. Just he was quick, and now Radley's starting to want to on his own because of Rowan.
Did you do the SeaWorld technique where you like, here's an M&M? Like,
oh, yeah.
They're a dolphin?
She used gummies. That's what she used, gummies. We went through a lot of gummies, but it worked.
But it works, yeah.
It worked.
Because you get,
and when they're potty trained, man, oh my gosh.
It's so much better.
I can't wait till Radley is the youngest and then make life easier.
There's still a chance of an accident.
Always.
You're not out of the woods yet, brother, but you can see the tree line. You can see the way out, but yeah, you can have dude. There's or wait till Dad.
Oh,
come wipe my butt.
Oh, that's where. Yeah, Rowan still you have to go wipe him. So there's still that, but I'd rather do that than change a diaper.
Oh, that is true. You got
because Radley has grown man poops. Dude's not even 2 yet, and it's like, wow. It's like, come on, man.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. Like Bella has started like putting him on. She doesn't want to change that diaper either. Yeah.
You got a lot of fiber in there.
Oh yeah, he likes to eat.